Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Harmony and I'm so happy to be here. If you don't know me, you can check out my intro on how to empower yourselves, or you can also check out the link to my website in the description box below if you'd like to know more about me. Now, today's topic is about how to overcome fears. So in order to overcome fears, we need to know what fears are and how they manifest themselves into our lives. So what are fears? So there are all different types of fears. People are scared of animals or heights or ghosts and so many things. I mean, you would know what your fear is. But most of all, that people are scared of, the main fear is of that of loss. Okay, people always fear losing something, whether it's their life or it's their job or it's their family or it's their money or it's their whatever it is they're feared of. So why are they so scared? Why is that fear always there? What does it mean when it comes and manifests into our lives? So to understand these fears, we need to look at it in the form of energy. Okay, so fear is only an energy, and it can manifest. Say it's a scale, and it can manifest itself from -10 to -1. So -1 could be like something we don't like, and which is like it keeps going, and then it becomes hate, then it becomes extreme hate, then it becomes fear. And so why do we hate something? At the end of the day, it leads to fear because we're not comfortable with it. Now, why do fears manifest themselves in our lives? So like I said, if we look at it from a different angle, we have to look at it from the point of view of energy, and like attracts like. So if something is coming in our way, something is manifesting in our lives, a fear of facing something, it is because that is within. We've got some of that energy within us, and we are carrying it, whether we know it or not. If fears appears in our life, a situation or whatever it is comes in our way, it's because it's a reflection of something that is within. And I'll do a separate video on all these mirrors of lives and how they reflect. So when we understand that the fear is coming to show us that there is something within us that is manifesting it, we get to understand that it's coming for us to let it go, to express it and let it out. Okay, because what happens most of the time, we try to run away from it. Okay, so we either run away from it, or we bury it, never think about it, and just say, oh, I was lucky this time. But it will still stay there. So if you read about, or if you've heard about many heroes and all of that, they all conquered their fears. Many of them conquered fears. How did they do that? Well, many were very strong and did that. But how can you do that? If you're so scared of something and it's manifesting itself in your life and you can't even think, you can't think straight, you can't, you don't know what to do. But what do most people do? They call upon angels and God, or and ask them to help. And why do they ask them to help? Because they carry the energy of love. Okay, so when they come, that energy of love, when you call upon an energy of love, that energy of love in you is going to rise up So it's not that the angel is chasing the devil, whatever it is. It's the energy of love within yourself is rising above that energy of fear. So how can we do it by ourselves? If you don't believe in God, you don't believe in angels, you don't believe in anything that has got the energy of love, how can you do it within by yourself? It is very simple, and it is so simple that we never thought about it, never realized it. And we can think about something we love, because the love that is within us is the energy of love. The same love, if you call an angel, will bring that energy of love. When you think about something you love, your own love will come up. Your own love will rise up. And you don't need to, I mean, it's fine, it's fair enough, we do ask for help, but when you think about love, when you shift your focus to love, and you love something more than you fear someone, or you fear something, or you fear of losing, when you think about how much you love, if you love more than you fear of losing something or someone or whatever, that love will automatically raise your vibration. So when you've raised your vibration, the fear will be overtaken by the love. Okay? So when you overtake that, you have shifted your focus and you're thinking of what you love. It's fine, it's fair enough. You've brought down that energy that was within yourself. It's not like you're chasing the devil or chasing the fear energy away or overcoming that fear. It's you have learned that when you love something, when you love someone, when the love is pure, the love is really divine, that love overtakes anything. But you also need to release the fear that was in you. You don't need to let it stay within. It has to leave. So how can you do that? One is by focusing more on love. You're more on the love side, but you have to understand, you have to know that the fear that was in you will still be there, and it can still manifest itself until it's being released. So you have to set that fear free. And for you to set that fear free, many people say you have to face it. But if you come from a space of love and you talk to that fear, speak to that fear energy that is within you, one day just think about it, even if it doesn't even manifest, but you have experienced it. Go and sit down and think about it. That's why I put the question out there, how to overcome your fear, because that will help you to find out what your fears are, and you can do it with every single fear that you've got. It can be fear that you've been carrying from lifetimes or from childhood, or all these programming of fears. That has happened all through our lifetimes and all through the childhood up to this point, that we need to release and let go. And the more we hold on to it, the more. There's one thing is a trick to find out if you've got fear in you and you can't find out what fear it is. Think about what you're worrying about. What is your worry? Because worry and fear go hand in hand. Okay, so if you start thinking about you can't remember what do you feel, what are your fears, think about what you're worried about and what does that lead to. So this is your fear, because if you're worried about something, it means you have got fear in you. And this is how you can, bring all these fears, bring them up to the surface. And that's what I say, like writing is a really good way of finding out, or getting to know yourself better, getting to know what's within you, what needs to be healed, what needs to come out, what needs to be released, what you need to let go of. And when you sit down and ask your questions, what are your fears? Bring them all up, think about what you're worrying about, write them all down, and then one day you can just sit down and read everything that you've written, all the fears. And it doesn't mean that you have to write them all down, or you can do it one at a time, and however you feel like it's right for you to work with it. So when you write it down and you're sitting and looking at it, and you say to that energy, or whatever it is, whatever that fear is, because they all hold the same energy, it's just the scale. Okay, like I said, it's the fear of losing, fear of loving someone because you've been hurt in the past, or fear of anything, whatever it is. It's the energy of loss. Or if your fear is of entities, then it's a fear of someone having more power over you. Or if it's fear of losing your job, it's a fear of, again, giving your power away. So it manifests in all different ways, but come to the conclusion of what you're feared of, what you're scared of, and what are your fears, and write them down. Because when you've written them all down, then you can sit down and look at them. These are the things you need to work on. And how can you let go of them? Fine, fair enough. You can focus more on what you love. What is the true love that you have in you? What is it for? Is it for a pet? Is it for somebody? Is it for a place, a house? Whatever it is. When that love is pure and it's divine, you bring that love in. Is it for your child? Bring that love in and see, all these fear compared to that love that you hold within you, isn't that love stronger than all those fears that you've got? So how can you let go of them? Once you've written them, the best way to let go of them is to say thank you to every single one of them, because they manifested in your life, or they are still manifesting in your life, because they are telling you that they exist in you, and you need to let go of it. You need to release it. You need to say goodbye to it, and you need to thank it before saying goodbye to it. This is how we can start learning to understand what everything means. What are the emotions that we go through? What do they mean? This is how we can start understanding how to give meaning to everything. And I always talk about this, giving meaning to everything that happens in your life. So when you start looking at this, just say thank you to every single one of them and just let them go. You can either burn that paper, and while you're doing that, say thank you to fire who's taking away, like you have released all these fears, they're taking it all away, and you have now neutralized that fear. They don't exist in your life, they don't come in your life. Another thing you can do is that every single one of them, you create an affirmation and do it every single day until you come to a point where you feel like, yes, I have overcome all of this. They don't form part of my life anymore. They don't. What I do is, like, certain words, like whatever I'm scared of, just say they don't exist in my world anymore, and just let them go. So if you just write them all down and say they don't exist in your world anymore, whatever feels right to you, whatever feels good to you, with whatever way feels like, yes, you're getting rid of them. It's not necessarily you have to stand and face them. If you want to stand and face them, it's fine. You can do that. But you can also use these methods, these ways of just releasing them. It's like acknowledging you have them, accepting you have them, acknowledging them, and then letting them go. And just saying thank you to them because you're letting them go without any resentment. And you keep on focusing more on your love, on what you love, because that energy of love is a pure love. It's a pure divine love that you're focusing on. And like I said, it shouldn't be something you're obsessed about. It's something you love. It's something that feels divine, and something that feels that is stronger than anything else, that any other fear that will come in your way. So once you let all those fears go, you'll feel different. You'll feel yourself as, full of love. Because so what another thing you can do is by breath. Is like every time releasing that fear and saying to yourself you're releasing it with an exhale. And every time you inhale, you say, I'm inhaling more of love, and exhaling that fear. So I've given you all different techniques on how you can overcome fear. So yeah, this leads us to the end of this video. So I hope this helps. And one thing I'll say before I end it is to focus more on what you align to. If you align more to love, if your love is pure, your love is divine, then there is no fear that can take over that. Okay, so the fears will manifest in your life, yes, but they are manifesting for a reason. You need to find what reason it is and just let them go. And once they go, this is it. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.